I thought trick-or-treating was the best thing ever. So did my mom, who we later called Ma thanks to my brother Brent. Ma never bought candy for us, so trick-or-treating was a super huge treat. In the late 1960s, early 1970s, when I was trick-or-treating, the haul we made was not nearly as plentiful as it is for kids today. Very few people gave out chocolate, my personal favorite, and most just one small piece of candy. Kids never got to pick an individual pre-wrapped candy out of the bowl. It was what the person handing out candy at the door put in your sack, or in our case, our plastic orange pumpkin. Ma bought us plastic orange pumpkins with black plastic handles. We used them year after year. Ma took Rick, Brent, and me house to house. Interestingly enough, she did not get an orange pumpkin for herself and come to the door and get candy too. Daddy would stay at home with Lynn when she was too little to trick-or-treat and pass out candy to kids who rang our doorbell. When Lynn got old enough, she went trick-or-treating with us. When the doorbell rang, Daddy would get up out of his chair, where he had been watching TV, and put one small piece of some kind of sugar candy, which probably came 100 pieces in a bag, in the trick-or-treater's sack. The year after 4-year-old Brent got out of the hospital in the spring for his third-degree burns, he still did not have a lot of stamina, so he did not want to walk as many streets as Rick and I, who were 5 and 6 years old. Unusual for Brent, who was all about the free stuff, he told Ma he had a broken leg. So we took Brent back home, then Rick and I, with Ma, hit many more streets and filled our pumpkins up. We were out kind of late that night, and at one of the houses, an elderly lady was out of candy but still had her light on. She told us to wait while she went to the kitchen to find something to give us. We waited what seemed like a very long time, which stopped us from going to other houses who still had their lights on. This concerned Rick and me greatly, but Ma had us wait. The lady eventually came back to the front door with potato chips wrapped in plastic wrap for us. Sandwich bags were first sold in 1957. Ziploc bags were first sold in 1968, while Saran wrap was in 1953. Most of the people I knew then, and some that I know now, would have thought that Ziploc bags were way too expensive. Another time, one house made popcorn balls and wrapped those in plastic wrap. When we got back home after trick-or-treating, we would eat some of our candy. We kept our candy in our pumpkins and knew exactly which pumpkin was ours. After we went to bed, Daddy would peruse all our pumpkins and eat what he wanted. All our pumpkins except Lynn's. He learned quickly that Lynn would often eat a bite of candy, then wrap up what was left and put it back in her pumpkin to save for later. So a lot of her candy in her pumpkin already had a bite out of it, and the rest was sticky because of the bites that had been taken out. She had a foolproof way to keep all her candy for herself.